Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, October 20th. Just a random blog post on conscious thinking and doing no harm. Just want to babble on for a few minutes about conscious thinking. So, harm to no one, anything, even on a microscopic level. Every living organism, from plant life, water, cellular structure, uses the same oxygen to breathe as we do. The same earth water is used for nourishment for all living, breathing organisms. We've been taught as a society through religion that it is acceptable to place dominion over all of this magnificent creation. We've been taught over the years to disconnect ourselves with the cellular structure and memories that is in every one of us. Let's say we live by the motto of do no harm. To fully practice this would begin to lead you into a state of conscious thinking automatically. It's really simple. We'll use Einstein, for example. Excuse me. E equals mc squared. Then that means we are all energy. All that exists is energy. Okay, so that's pretty simple to take into fact. Proven fact. Again, fact. We all contain stardust. Okay, we're all stardust. You can deny it all you want, but even religious leaders, when asked about being stardust, will agree with the scientists on this pretty much one and only issue. We all have stardust origins. If all is energy, even stardust, then we're all energy. So is the sky, the trees, the sun, the moon, and every single thing we see or don't see with the two eyes that we have. Here's another fact to ponder. One person has enough energy within themselves to illuminate the entire city for almost a week. Did you get that one right? Do you want me to repeat myself? Okay, let me fake rewind here. All right. One person, you, me, anybody, has enough energy to illuminate an entire city, say the size of Manhattan, for an entire week. So maybe now you have a better perspective on what energy is and the amount of what you yourself are capable of. With that being said, let's think about E equaling mc squared. All creation, all that is being of energy, everything under the highest of microscopes would appear as the same microbiological structure. It shows us we are all this so-called stardust. We are all the energy. We are the light. We are the answer to our prayers. We are what we've been waiting for. Now, getting back to doing under any circumstances no harm to all that exists sounds quite challenging, but I really promise you it isn't. If we can absorb and understand that everything in this energy and that every little microscopic thing that we do has this huge, vast ripple effect, either negative or positive, then we begin to better understand the way of conscious thinking and actually doing no harm. Here's an easy example. I have 2 arms, 2 legs, a tree has 2 branches. If you cut my arm off, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt really bad. I will bleed and I will most likely die without some sort of medical or spiritual intervening. Now let's take a perfectly healthy tree and we decide a tree limb or the entire tree is in the way of something. Most of us would not give it any thought and we would disregard our natural occurring consciousness and we would either cut the limb off of the tree or we'd cut the entire tree down. Now, we would have just done this without any regard as to the life that was forming there, the energies that survived on that tree. How many human or non-human lives have been disrupted because of this action? What is it? What is the long-term effect of this? Was it a positive one for the whole of humanity and all the Earth's inhabitants? Or was it an unconscious action with disregard to the effect it will have to come on all that survived from the tree and depended on this tree for their very way of existence? Now, I could go into more detail, but you pretty much have the knowledge and the consciousness to get the rest figured out by yourself. You know, everything depended on that tree, for example, for the existence. So the huge ripple effect of all the creation that just was destroyed could be and potentially catastrophic. Okay. So use your consciousness with all aspects of life. From not taking the 5 unneeded trips to town, as you really don't need to be doing that, to everything else in your life. You know, when you take those 5 unneeded trips, you're supporting destruction, deforestation, greedy pockets, your own ego. You support your own ego to satisfy that missing void. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is quit distracting yourself. Life's full of distractions, and your ego is the biggest one that you have that avoids your evolutionary process. Now, conscious thinking and doing no harm should apply in all aspects of your lifestyle to create the best possible and positive ripple effect. I can be extreme in my practices, from not driving my vehicle but once every 2 weeks for groceries. I won't cut my grass, as it is highly destructive to the life that resides there, and not to mention the environment that doesn't need the emissions or let alone the support of the earth's blood being oil. I won't wear or consume in any manner synthetic, unnatural items or materials. Thus, some have called me plain, as I have virgin hair. I wear no makeup. I do not dress to impress. I simply am who I am. I love myself. You have the choice. You can love me or hate me, but it doesn't matter. To me, it's irrelevant, your feelings towards me. It's not that I don't care. It's just that your personal opinions do not affect me directly and have no impact on my life, as most that spread their negativity would like to think. I will continue to lead a lifestyle of sustainability and consciousness. I will continue to get as far off the grid as possible with sustainable energy sources like solar, wind, solar power. I will continue to grow my organic garden and prepare myself in any and natural means for man-made or, again, natural catastrophic events that could happen. I'm not a doomsdayer to some extent, but I believe, that you need to be prepared, and not naive in any event. Whether it be global, man-made, or what, we should be prepared for survival on some level. Having speech impediments, sorry. Someone posted a story the other day about the ant and the grasshopper. I love this story, and it rings so true to me. The ant, during the summer, he worked his ass off, and the grasshopper played. The grasshopper didn't understand why the ant was working so hard for the upcoming winter, and the grasshopper only planned for the day. So when winter came, there was no food, no shelter for the grasshopper. Now the ant, he had been preparing for his entire colony. So basically the story ends that the ant and his colony survived and the grasshopper died. He had no food. He starved to death. So the ant had planned. There's another idea for us all. Let's plan. And to say that nothing will ever happen is simply ignorant. Let's look at Katrina, Hurricane Ike, the tsunami, all those other natural disasters. To say you will never directly be affected by any event like this is totally naive and simply ignorant. I'm sorry. To say all of that would be extremely naive. You could be dead by the time help arrives if you're going to depend on the government or somebody else to bail you out or have food for your family or clothing or shelter. Stuff happens all over the globe every single day. Unforeseen natural and man-made events. It's time to wake up. Be the ant, not the grasshopper. Do not depend on me or my family or my brothers or sisters. It's pretty much it. Step away from your ego. That's really one of the first steps. The ego can be a very dangerous thing. It's led us to wars, destruction, greed, and the current situation that we are in universally. You have every cellular memory from yourself and all of your ancestors since the dawn of time and before is buried deep within your core of existence. All that you seek, the knowledge, the answers, the hope, it's all there. It always has been. Every teaching you seek, every answer, every choice, it's your free will. The society that we live in currently is placed upon fear, controlled greed, and religion. I choose to see much more, and I choose to see beyond this. I choose to accept what is already within. If you want to know more about me, my thoughts, my opinions, and all the other human stuff, I encourage you to please visit me on MySpace. I like to post regular blogs there that aren't always video blogs. myspace.com/givingearth. So I say to all of you who either love or hate me, it doesn't matter for one. You are my universal brothers, my universal sisters. We share the same universal blood, the air, the water from the great cosmos and planet that we call Earth and our home. We are family, and I will love you unconditionally, no matter your opinions, thoughts, or beliefs. Shouldn't we all coexist? Live and love together, despite our differences? Wouldn't that be grand?